If you're just gonna be talking to me, you're talking to him.
If you don't want everybody else to hear.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, if you don't want it to get you, cover the mic because it's very sensitive. And if it hears you, it's gonna soak it on.
Try to figure it out,
That was pretty smart.
yeah. It's AI, huh?
I'm scared.
Go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon. This is the Urban Design Review Board meeting, September 19th. I'm Rodney Givens, the chairman. Call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the roll call.
Rodney Givens,
Present.
Givens is present, Dodson,
Present.
Dodson is present, Yahya Hassan,
Present.
Yahya Hassan is present, Carol Clayton. Present. Carol Clayton is present, Yanni Cortez. Yanni Cortez is absent, Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. So the next item on the agenda is the approval of our minutes from July 18th. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes? If so, what is the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, can I get a second?
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hear none. Motion passes. The next item is old business. Seeing none on the agenda, move on to the next item, which is new business. And we have an applicant. The applicant is requesting approval of the design for a one-story building, a brick and glass building at 1035 Main Street. Nicole?
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. As stated, we have an applicant that is interested in getting an approval for the renovation of a one-story building. It's the Barnes Dunbar Brick and Glass Building located at 1035 Main Street. The applicant would like to paint the building as well as remove some of the breezeway columns that are associated with the structure. The criteria for approval are as follows. The design shall be in harmony with the general character of the development, high quality in the immediate vicinity and surrounding areas. The design is in harmony with the surrounding area. B, the design components shall be planned in a fashion that are physically and aesthetically related and coordinated with elements of the project and surrounding environment, apart from the loss of historic integrity. Due to the exterior paint and the removal of the breezeway and its columns, the remaining design components are planned in such a way that they are physically and aesthetically related and coordinated with the other elements of the environment. The entirety of the area is within the downtown Main Street district area. Item C, the design shall protect the scenic views and natural features of the site. There are no scenic or natural views at this particular location. D, the design shall protect adjacent properties from negative visual impacts. The design does protect the adjacent properties from any negative visual impacts. And lastly, all exterior forms, attached buildings shall be in conformity with and secondary to the building. There are no secondary structures proposed with this particular design. Now, the building itself, the structure will remain brick. However, the applicant is proposing painting the brick a bare limousine leather color. Centerboard on the siding and the trim of the building will be painted pistachio. The roof is asphalt. The windows will be painted black and the doors will be metal and glass. On the left and right side of the facade, the materials are primarily remaining the same. The brick will remain the same, however, it will be painted. The center board siding on the building trim will be painted pistachio. If you look at the page 7 of your report, you'll see colors of the proposed building that they're recommending. Also, you'll see some of the existing siding that they're proposing, as well as the doors and the downspouts that they show in the pictures. Now, the rear of the facade of the building will basically remain the same. The metal door to the rear will be painted black. We show the aerial map of the site. The zoning, as you can see, is completely surrounded and within the DM zoning district. And then we have some current condition photos. As you can see, is the building itself has kept a lot of its historic features. It has the breezeway, the large glass windows, as well as the pathway facade and coverings. If you look on page 10, you can see the proposed elevations that the applicant is proposing for the structure at this time. They highlight the areas where the colors will be put, as well as some of the trim and other exterior features that they plan on retaining in this particular structure. Now, although the proposed design may meet the criteria to maintain some of the historic integrity of the structure, staff recommends the following. Approval with conditions. The structure should remain the same, including the breezeways as well as the columns and the brick on the lower portion of the bump out to the front of the building facing Main Street. However, the trim can be painted in the limousine leather color as recommended or proposed. The bumped out center structure siding on top of the brick can be also painted. However, the brick should remain. The breezeway border can be painted pistachio with the limousine leather on the poles and columns. The columns and the trellis can be repaired or replaced with something of similar style as needed. And the existing brick facade should be power washed and repaired where it can be. Staff further recommends that there should be a resurfacing of the parking lot, as well as adding perimeter landscaping to support a more vibrant streetscape that's aligned with the Forest Park revitalization goals. And that concludes my presentation, and I'm available should you have any additional questions.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Nicole. Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I do.
Go ahead, Carol.
I did have I couldn't tell what the pistachio color was. And I can't make that color out of what they put on here. I don't know if it's a light color or is it the color of the real pistachio?
You know, you are correct. Unfortunately, this is the size that we did receive the colors in. It is a bit small, so I will say it is a little bit hard to see. If you look at the drawing which they sent in here, you can see it appears to be somewhat of a orange, brown, kind of light orange color in the drawings when you look at page 15. The pistachio along the trim is somewhat of a greenish type of color, but unfortunately, these are the sizes and the things that we received as it relates to the materials and the pictures. I'm not sure if at your podiums you can see it a little bit clearer since it's right in front of you. But like I said, unfortunately, this is what we were provided. And so I don't have anything any clearer to basically indicate exactly what the color looks like.
It appears on page 7, there's a reference to a bear, which is a company, Pistachio.
Mhm.
And that looks as close as to pistachio
Right,
as I can get.
right.
Well, I just couldn't tell what it was, and then this is just Carol's preference. I'm not really a fan of painting brick. But if the board so chooses, to paint it, I just need to make sure that if they do decide to do the brick, that they prime it correctly. And that, everything that they need to do to make sure that the brick stays painted. But like I said, at the end, the trim, I just can't tell what color we putting out there.
My understanding is that you suggested that the brick not be painted. Is that
Correct.
Okay.
I suggested that basically the brick be power washed and repaired if it can be, because in some instances they can do repair work to the brick. And if that can be done, that would be the preference of staff. We don't mind them putting the siding above the brick to the front of the bump out because that will help enhance and improve the structure. However, the thought process was to keep the brick and kind of keep as many of the features that the structure currently has, just so that it retains its historic integrity.
I support maintaining the brick primarily behind the reasons that Carol gave. And that is when brick is not maintained but painted, it starts looking really bad.
Mhm.
So it's better to simply clean it, seal it, reseal it,
Mhm.
and let it go at that.
Any more questions? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ron?
I hadn't had a picture since hello, so.
Yeah, your monitor keeps going in and out. Well, Carol's is out too. Okay. If there are no further questions, what's the pleasure of the board?
Yeah, I have one question and it doesn't really pertain to us, but why keep those columns?
Well, once again, the intent was to keep the historic integrity of the building itself. Those poles and
They're
the
poles,
awnings and the
yeah.
columns and stuff, that's part of the stuff that gives the building its character. And if you were to remove that level of character, it kind of takes away from maintaining the historic integrity of the structure, which is the reason why, although we do understand that it's possible that the poles may need to be replaced, maybe some of the screens might need to be replaced, but once again, if it's done in a way that whatever's selected is somewhat similar to what's there, the building can still maintain some of its historic qualities, even if that was done. So that's what staff has recommended.
Okay.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion to approve with the stipulations.
With the conditions that were stated?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a second?
I second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Moving on to the next item, which is a request for renovation of an existing one-story home at 4674 College Street. Go.
Yes, sir. Once again, good afternoon. As stated, the applicant that is located at 4674 College Street is requesting approval for the renovation of a single-story home. The applicant would like to widen the front entryway, add a front porch, add siding, replace roof shingles, add a wood deck to the rear of the building, and enclose the existing patio, 12 by 12 patio, to convert into a room with the structure. The review criteria is as follows. A, whether the design is in harmony with the general character of the neighborhood, and staff finds that the design does meet that criteria. B, the design components are designed in a way that are physically and aesthetically related and coordinated with elements of the surrounding environment. The design components are planned and do meet this requirement. The properties surrounding this particular parcel are all zoned single-family residential. C, whether the design shall protect scenic views and natural features of the site. There aren't any in particular at this location, so it is okay with this requirement. D, the design shall protect adjacent properties from negative visual impact. It actually does, and it actually causes great improvement to the neighborhood because they are fixing up a derelict property. And E, all exterior forms, attached buildings shall be in conformity with and secondary to the building. There are no secondary structures proposed for this particular development. As you can see, the proposed building is going to have white hardy plank cement siding and black asphalt shingles on the ceiling, as well as black windows, and appears to have brown doors. On the sides of the building, the design is pretty much the same. The colors and the hardy board will continue around the side of the building, as well as the asphalt roof and shingles. And the rear, once again, maintains the same design features with the same materials and the same colors. On page 19, you can see an aerial map of the overall area itself. We did provide a zoning map, which shows that the whole area is zoned single-family residential. And we provided some photos of the existing condition of the site itself. Following that page, on page 22, you will see what the existing facade looks like in terms of all the views. On page 23, they show what is currently being proposed for that site. As indicated, it will have the white siding, the black trim, the black asphalt roof. You can also see the deck that they plan on putting on the structure itself, and also the widening of the entry structure or entry area, excuse me, with the addition of the porch. So staff basically recommends approval of this particular design. And also staff recommends that the applicant enhance the property landscaping as well as make improvements to the asphalt and the driveway just to have an overall look and design of the area. Other than that, that concludes staff presentation, and then I'm available should you have any additional questions.
Thanks, Nicole. Any questions on the board? Go ahead, Carol.
Changing the roof structure for this building?
No,
What the picture looks like, it looks like they're changing the roof.
they are
There's a
making some
technical-
changes that, like you mentioned, if you look at the comparison between the pictures, there is a little bit of a change to the back of the property. It looks like they're adding a window on one side that wasn't there previously. But for the roof line itself, it appears to remain the same in the picture.
What about the dormers that they have on the top? As compared to two, it looks like they're changing the roof structure.
Yeah, I do see where you're looking at, and on page 23, the rear photo to the back looks like it might be changing slightly. It's kind of a little bit difficult to tell because it looks more like the trim color and things of that sort are impacting the look of it. But yes, they are making some changes to the way that looks.
The other question is there any reason why they're not putting gutters on the building?
I don't know. I don't know why that's not happening. It's hard to say. And looking at the original design of the structure itself, it's kind of hard to even see if it originally had gutters on it.
Gutters
So
are implied by, in D3, but, Carol has a good point. And I interpret this as simply an oversight in that it is costly to take the roof off or remove the roof and make it a lower roof. But there is no sense in doing that.
okay.
So I'm reading it as simply an oversight.
Yeah.
That they will probably keep the roof as it is and keep the
Mhm.
dormers. That's the way I'm reading it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I think it actually
I think
goes
that's
from
right.
like a 12-12 pitch, to like a 6-12.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the current and the in the picture, the current slope is much better looking.
Any more questions, Carol? Ron? Yeah. Okay. If there are no more questions, what's the pleasure of the board?
I recommend we accept it as discussed.
Thank you. Got a motion? Can I get a second? Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hear none, motion passes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Nicole, good job. Seeing no more business on the agenda, I'm gonna go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
We adjourn the meeting.
Got a motion? Anybody want a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hear none, we're adjourned.